up everyone, it's your girl Shay here and I'm back with a whole nother video for you guys. And as you guys may know, I actually took to Twitter yesterday and actually wanted to see what idea you guys had for me to come out with the video for Monday. And I had one person actually suggest for me to do my top 5 favorite Disney movies. So I decided, why not? As many of you guys know, I'm a huge Disney fan. I go there pretty often. So I decided this would be a great time to make that list and see what actually is you guys' favorite Disney movies as well. Now these ones are just Disney movies, not Disney Pixar. So that will actually have to be a whole nother list because I enjoy those movies as well. But let's get started with this list. So coming in at number 5, I have the movie Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch came out back in 2002 and I remember watching this movie in theaters and actually crying. Lilo and Stitch is about a little girl by the name of Lilo who lives on pretty much the island of Hawaii, and she's kind of a strange little girl and she lives with her sister Nani after their parents have been killed in an accident, it seems, and she ends up getting a pet by the name of Stitch. Now Stitch is no ordinary pet and he's actually an escaped experiment 626, and he's crash landed on the planet and he's pretending to be Lilo's dog while you have Jumba actually looking for a Stitch along the way. It is such a cute, lovable movie, and I love to see the relationship between Lilo and Stitch grow throughout the film. It had an awesome soundtrack with tons of Elvis songs. Like I mentioned before, this movie also really made me cry, and it was actually one of the first Disney movies to do that for me in a while. Of course, at the end, it was with the line that Stitch says that Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind. That line had me weeping. But let's continue on with number 4, which is the movie Aladdin. Aladdin came out back in 1992, and this movie is best known for its soundtrack with the song A Whole New World, and also of course with Robin Williams playing the part of Genie. Also, as many of you guys remember, Jasmine is also the first non-white Disney princess. So that actually made a lot of little brown girls very, very happy. I love this movie not only because of the soundtrack with A Whole New World, but also because it was really funny. I loved having Robin Williams play the voice of Genie, and it was actually really cool to see just how many of these characters grow. Aladdin was one of those characters where he pretty much started out as a street rat who had to steal food for him to be able to live, but along with the genie's help, he was actually able to become a prince and win Jasmine's heart. But the best part was that it showed at the end that he pretty much had to be himself to win Jasmine's heart, even though it was revealed that he was nothing more than a street rat. As many of you guys, I'm sure, have seen this movie before, I definitely recommend checking it out if you have little cousins or anything else that have not seen this film just yet. It's a film that I know will be loved for many years to come. But coming in at number 3, I have the movie Mulan. Mulan came out back in 1996, and it is also one of the first princessy kind of movies, and also the first movie based off an actual person. Mulan was based off of Chinese folklore, and she's also one of the first Asian princess also. Mulan was also what shaped pretty much what actually was the criteria for a Disney princess, and it showed that not all Disney princesses had to be born royal or marry into royalty, since Mulan actually showed a lot of bravery and courage with her journey. The story of Mulan, of course, is about a young girl who basically takes the place of her father in the Chinese army against the Hans, and it actually shows her journey with that of having to pretend that she's a guy, and then once it's found out that she is a woman, having to deal with trying to alert China that the Huns are actually on their way. This movie is actually best known also for its soundtrack with the song Reflection sung by Christina Aguilera, along with the songs I'll Make a Man Out of You, which is actually done during the film and is also one of my favorites. Plus, as many of you guys know, Disney is coming out with a live action of Mulan that's supposed to release either later on this year or sometime early next year. I'm pretty excited about that, but I'm also upset because they took out the lovely, lovable character Shang. I really liked that character, but they took him out of the live action, but they replaced him with a whole nother character. But we'll see how that works. But anyway, on with the list. And coming in at number 2, I have 1995's The Lion King. The Lion King was one of my favorite films, and for a long time it was one of the only films that I actually kind of connected with because it mostly took place in Africa. Lion King is about a young boy by the name of Simba, whom after his father is murdered by his uncle Scar, he's blaming himself for the whole loss of his dad, claiming that it is his fault, so he runs away from his family. During that time, Scar actually ended up taking over Pride Rock, and you see Simba make this miraculous journey back to his family and take over Pride Rock as his own, since it is rightfully his, since he is supposed to be king. I love this film because of the soundtrack. I feel like most of the films on this list I like because of the soundtrack, but let's be honest, Disney has some bomb soundtracks, and there's songs on there that you sing all the time. I mean, I still sing tons of Disney songs even now, but I love this. Basically, I love this film because I love the songs. I Just Can't Wait to Be King. I love Hakuna Matata. I love Can You Feel the Love Tonight. Those songs were so much fun, and the hyenas were hilarious because they were, of course, Scar's like little underlings, but they were actually really, really funny. Plus, this movie in and of itself was one of the few films pretty much on my list that had pretty much an all animal cast. I know we mostly know about 101 Dalmatians, and also of course we have Oliver and Company, but it's one of the movies during basically Disney's Renaissance period, which is when a lot of these movies take place, that really shaped a lot of the things culturally wise. And I know for a lot of quite a few African American kids, when we used to talk about Disney movies, we found that The Lion King was one of the first black Disney films, mostly because it took place in Africa. But anyway, coming in at number 1 is of course my favorite Disney movie and my favorite Disney princess, and it's 2009's Princess and the Frog. Princess and the Frog is about a girl by the name of Tiana who really wants to own her own restaurant. But she ends up getting wrapped up in this Prince Naveen, who actually ends up getting turned into a frog by Dr. Facilier, and he is told that the only way for him to break the curse is for him to kiss a princess before midnight. He kisses Tiana, but he turns Tiana into a frog, and from there continues their journey, and along the way, Naveen falls in love with Tiana. The reason why I loved this movie was not only because Tiana's a princess and she looks just like me, but also because she shows hard work is the best way that you're able to achieve your dreams. Even though there's this whole thing about wishing upon a star and getting your dreams and making your dreams come true, she also shows that hard work is one of the other ways that you can do it, and actually one of the best ways for you can do it. And one of my favorite songs during that entire soundtrack is Almost There. That's one of my favorite songs, and her dress was killer, and so was a lot of her outfits during that film. Not only that, but the film actually took place during 1920s New Orleans, so the music was amazing, and so was the fashion sense and things of that matter. Plus the all-star, voice acting cast was also really cool as well. I really loved Princess and the Frog, and it was actually one of the first movies that Disney had done in a long time that had actually brought them back to 2D animation instead of typical 3D animation. And while many people was upset about a certain character dying, but to me, it's okay. I mean, those things kind of happen. I mean, we all lived after the death of Mufasa in The Lion King, and I felt that we could deal with the death of Rey in Princess and the Frog, but what do I know? One thing I do wish though is that I really wish that there was a lot more Princess Tiana actual stuff in the Disney parks. It's so hard to find stuff with her picture on it. It's ridiculous. I can find every other Disney princess except for her, which actually really, really sucks. And I feel like a lot of princesses of color, you actually don't see a lot of their merchandise anymore, which is really, really, really terrible. But anyway, that is my list of my top 5 Disney movies. What is your top 5 favorite Disney movies? Or even if you don't have a top 5, but just what's one of your favorites at least? And I want to know, leave a comment down below, because like always, these Disney movies are probably really close to our hearts. They're movies that we've grown up on, and even though other Disney movies have came out subsequently after, a lot of us still go see them. I mean, I know many of us went and saw Coco. I know so many of us are so excited for Incredibles 2. I cannot wait to see that. And so many of us will also also in theaters when Toy Story 3 came out, and we're also very excited for Toy Story 4. But overall, Disney movies are probably here to stay. It's one of my favorite pieces of animation. Like I said before, while I do enjoy anime, I also enjoy Disney, and I felt this sweatshirt was fitting for me to wear for this video. But anyway, like I said, comment down below what's your favorite Disney movie. Like always, I will leave links down below to all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well. And like always, you guys, stay nerdy. Bye!